Okay, we have number one at 244. Average speed was 331 miles an hour, .227. Not too bad. And right now, as far as we know, that was reverse engine going really early. And followed by, of course, we saw number 18, which is Jim Thomas. And then, of course, Jim Russ was out of the race. We don't know why. And the race number 51, R.C. Dixon, airline pilot from Charlottesville, North Carolina, flying smallpox.
All right, that is on whistle. We do have some notes on here, and we'll clear it up. We'll get with you on that. As we recover the aircraft, Boy Hadley has some messages for you. And Sandy Sanders, do not go away. You're going to close out the afternoon with the last race today. About 4:30, that's going to take place.
We're going to pay some bills indeed, so get ready for that. But first, I want you, if you've got your kids with you, while you have some time, go down to the Grad NBBAA STEM Education Discovery Zone. It is amazing, all the different things that they have down there. Kids can get a printed full-colored pilot handbook, a printed full-colored Grad NBBAA STEM Discovery Zone race guide, all the flight simulator zone, Mission Plan Plus, a digital augmented reality treasure hunt. There's an open air netted drone zone for drone flight demonstrations and drone selfies. 3D printed models of all sorts of things. There's the 5-foot tall Saturn V rocket, the Reno Coliseum, Notre Dame Cathedral, Darth Vader, the Mars rover, and all sorts of aircraft as well. So there's so much to see, and free aviation stickers too for all you young folk. So check it out. The Reno Air Racing Association's Grad NBBAA STEM Education Discovery Zone. Just head on down towards the control tower, and you will come across it indeed. The SOAP is excited to once again support this year's Reno Air Races and witness all the excitement with aviation enthusiasts right around the world. Whether their travels take them, the Falcon customers can count on Dassault's own service centers at their home away from home. In fact, our Dassault Falcon Jet Service Center is located right here in Reno, and they're ready to handle inspection and maintenance services on all Falcon aircraft.
Go Rebels. I want to invite you folks down to the west end of the field if you get a chance. There's big hats, and then you see race wings, sports class, highlights, food, a lot of innovation going on. The sponsors down there, we got death moments, we got flyouts, sunglasses. We got JB, which brought up a light sport, light aircraft. They're just beautiful. One down on the west end and one down on the east end of the place. So we're doing a takeoff right now, and usually they go into a little bit of a format where they follow the pace out one at a time. Now when they do that, we take off on the left side of the runway, which is the furthest away from the crowd, and follow the hot side. Now to have any different feathers, they will come over to the right side of the runway, the cold side, so that the aircraft moving off behind can continue on. So you probably don't even notice it from here, but they take off on the left, and then when they come back in, they take off on the left, and then they switch over to the cold side.
We are just about ready to get started with some more sport racing for you, and this is the top of the class here. This is the gold level sport racing. This is race 1A in sport. We've got 8 planes scheduled. We only see 4 on the deck right now, so we will see if that's going to be our last one. There's another plane.
Yep, that's Jeff Lavelle in
Okay,
race
that's
39.
our top qualifier. Jeff Lavelle going to take his place at the front of the line.
So he just got taxied late, maybe a little issue getting started and warmed up, and but he is pulled out. Now the aircraft will take off in qualifying order. So you see Jeff Lavelle has already taxied by, and there you see Andrew Findlay in the race 30. One moment is what he calls that airplane.
2-time champion here in the sport here, Lavelle, who, right there, you see Jeff Lavelle, race 39, a 7-time champion in sport racing. He's taking off first. We're going to get all our planes up in the air, do the traditional fly around to get positioned for dropping into our race course and beginning this race, which will be 6 laps, 46 miles.
Absolutely, Tommy. And so Andrew Findlay, as he begins to cycle the gear up in that Lancair Legacy, you can see that here we've jumped back to race 3. Stephen Van Hatten, Redmond, Oregon, in airplane he calls Mojo. That's a Glacier 3. And then there is Tom McNerney for a Lancair Legacy. He calls Too Much.
Here comes our defending champion, Matthias Hayde, from Salzburg, Austria, in Class Thunder 1, the Thunder Mustang.
And we have another Thunder Mustang right behind him. Beautiful red and black paint scheme on Guardian Angel. This is race 777 Matt Ramsey out of Lake Tahoe, Nevada.
After Matt in 6th position, Vicky Benzing, Lucky Girl, fan favorite, very versatile racer, has been performing here for a good many years.
Behind her, race 67, Peter Ballmer out of Wilderswil, Switzerland. Aircraft he calls the Swiss Thunder. That's the Lancair Legacy that he's there, and we saw this is what it looks like when they're on course from a previous race. That is the look up there in the foothills at the guide pylon, and here's a grouping coming around some of our desert pylons as they make their way around. But much like the other classes, Tommy, the minimum altitude of 50 feet. We're going to push this up to 370 to 400 miles an hour. We talked earlier about this being the 400-mile research and development department. This is the gold pairing. This is where the top edge of the top is being pushed to the limit here as we see a good shot of our airborne aircraft now beginning to gather up to make their way around behind Peavine Mountain. They will start in the air just like our other classes have. They'll come down the chute and then drop in. This is the gold class of sport, so they will stay on the larger 8-mile course on all of their laps all the way around this time, Tommy. So much like the other sport class that we've seen, same rules still apply. They're limited to internal combustion engines with 1,000 cubic inches or less. Innovation is encouraged, however. They can fuel inject them, they can turbocharge them, supercharge. Some have twin turbos. They do have constant speed props, which allows that to be a variable, if you will. They do allow and encourage exotic fuels. So nitrous oxide, other combustion enhancers are all the norm in this class. And some of these faster aircraft like Jeff Lavelle, Andrew Finley, and others in this heat are the group that is really pushing the limits. And this innovation really ends up in our GA aircraft, general aviation aircraft, into the industry. So a lot of the propeller manufacturers, for example, that make composite propellers, work with these racers, and they're flying examples from Whirlwind, Macaulay, Hartzell, and Cato props. And this is where the research happens that will land on your family Bonanza or your family Cessna down the road, not too far.
It's hard to imagine a home-built airplane going 400 miles an hour, but that is in fact what happens here. Our top two qualifiers here, Lavelle and Finley, both have qualified over 400 miles an hour.
Yeah, and these are the fastest home-built aircraft in the world. They're all built. The aircraft that are typically in this class are based on kit or home-built aircraft. Some of the racers that we see here have actually built their airplanes in their garages, if you will.
Unbelievable.
And others have some other professionals build them for them, but that's where they're based on. And again, we're going to be on our 8-mile, 6-lap, 8-mile course. And we are really in for a treat here today. This is going to be really quite exciting as we get this group back around and circle back in before we get ready to race, Tommy. But they take them a little bit to circle back behind us at Peavine Mountain to get lined up.
Deserve that kind of thing, and they did it with class. Folks are going to come over from our right shoulder down the chute. We're going to go for that guide pattern out with those lights. And when you see these guys coming down the chute, they're going to move. They're going to be 400 plus miles an hour, probably the majority of them. And then we go in and around the course, and we'll see how it looks when they come past the front here. But I got to tell you, it's just unbelievable to listen to. And you get goosebumps every time.
Just a couple of minutes here. Our sport class aircraft will defend descend, I should say, onto our race course here. They are something to look at. The aerodynamics are tinkered with about as much as the mechanical elements of these airplanes. Constantly seeking improvement, trying to gain a mile or two an hour in there. Look at that one right there. Boy, that's an example of the sort of forward thinking, look into the future, the crystal ball classification. This is what's going to be flying in front of you right now in Sport Heat 1A. This is the gold class. Planes are in the air right now, getting position, send on to our race course.
And there they are, Tommy. We're looking at them from the foothills where the guide pylon is. You can see them right above the horizon there, right in the clouds. They are dropping into the chute, and they're headed right at us, Tommy. We do have a race, and this is going to be a spectacular start. You remember we've got Jeff Lavelle and Andrew Finley both qualifying over 400 miles an hour on the pole and in second place. They have to stay in the lane until the guide pylon, which is right where you're standing, ladies and gentlemen. And watch here as Jeff Lavelle and Andrew Finley come right over the top of you. The first place they can make the turn. Look at that.
Finley in the orange and white airplane, orange, black, and white. When the white airplane, the glass air, is Jeff Lavelle. They were the favorites last year, and both of them did not make it at the end of the thing. They both experienced mechanical difficulties, so they neither one won. But they've got almost 10 wins between them, most of them belonging to Lavelle.
Yeah, and here you see both of these two neck and neck as they come around the far northern end of our course and drop into the Valley of Speed. Now, we're fortunate the folks at the Reno Air Race Association have provided in-cockpit camera for us with Andrew Finley, and you can see that off to the side here. We're looking over his right shoulder as he is making his way to chase Jeff Lavelle, who's out in front of him there. On the left side of your screen, you see Lavelle headed for the home pylon in first place. You can hear these high-powered turbocharged engines making their way around. Andrew Finley is doing his best to get his aircraft, his Lancer Legacy, all tuned up, and you'll see him occasionally reach up and tweak some mixture and tweak some other things on that aircraft. So it's great to see what it looks like, and it's a very spectacular view out the cockpit.
Oh,
Tommy,
man, is it ever.
50 feet above the ground. And here we see Jeff Lavelle coming around the guide pylon again as we're a lap and a half into this 6-lap race already.
Jeff Lavelle and Andrew Finley, two guys who are known for pressing it to the limit. They will absolutely hold nothing back. Sometimes it comes back to bite them, but boy, when they get a good race rolling, they are impressive, both of them.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier that last year they both had mechanical type issues, and that allowed our defending champ, Matthias Hyde, to be the winner, and he's in this heat as well. But here right now, here coming to you from our pylon cam out in the desert, let's listen as they go by. Wow.
That's what you call wound up right there.
Yeah, it is. Both of those airplanes are wound up and rolling, and Lavelle is not giving Finley any ground to catch him. He's not making a mistake yet there in race 39 in the white aircraft you see on your screen. But you can also see him out in front of Andrew Finley in the subset off to the right, where we have the spectacular in-cockpit view from inside that airplane and the number 2 airplane as they're making their way around. Now think about it, Tommy, both of these aircraft are doing probably a little over 400 miles an hour right now.
Yeah.
And that is just about as fast as we get in anything but the jet aircraft. There we are, another good look from the foothills with our pylon cam that's up there near the guide pylon as these two aircraft drop to the far north end of our course and make their way around pylons 4, 5, and 6. And come around, and they will drop into the Valley of Speed as they head southbound. Now, Jeff Lavelle is staying very low. He's staying very tight to the minimum distance course. Andrew Finley doing the same, but occasionally you'll see here Andrew's got a little bit more altitude, and I think what he's trying to do is find anything he can to maneuver and trade some speed for altitude and then reconvert that into momentum. So he's trying to do anything he can to see if he can catch Lavelle.
This has been a spectacular rivalry through the last 8 or 9 years for sure. To see it play out one more time today, what a treat near the end of our racing day here on day number 2 in Reno.
Yeah, it's just a great shot on the right there, the small in-cockpit camera. You can see Lavelle, just a little white dot just to the right of Andrew's helmet, out in front as they follow their way around. And there you see on the left side, you can see Lavelle. Now, occasionally you see some moisture or smoke coming back out. And remember, these are high compression, high volume, high RPM engines that are turbocharged, often have nitrous and stuff. So at this point, we don't believe there's anything that's adverse about that. It doesn't look like smoke that's a trouble. That's just part of the exhaust as this high profile, high powered engine. But there in that shot, in the far north end of the course, it looks like Finley is beginning to sneak up just a little bit.
Yeah, he dropped down a little bit just before we mentioned him right there, and he gained a little bit on Jeff Lavelle. Let's see if he can keep that trend going. He's going to have to, because they're running out of laps here. We're already well over halfway through this race.
Yeah, and you can always tell. Sometimes it's deceiving on the far north end of the course with our camera angle, but you can tell when the wings begin to level out. The second place airplane will still be in the turn longer, and you can tell in this case Andrew Finley was just a little bit. But look how close he is, Tommy. He is almost caught up to him to where they're almost wing to wing. So you can see in the right side of your screen, the small inset, you can see Jeff Lavelle is the airplane now disappeared behind the helmet. But just out in front of Andrew Finley, you can see on the left side. Andrew is finding every little bit that he can. He's squeezing every drop out of that airplane. And every once in a while, you'll see his right hand reach up and adjust the mixture and some of that. He's tweaking that airplane and actually making ground on him.
Yeah. What a great race going on right here. He's got a little bit of altitude in his back pocket. Does Andrew Finley? He can trade that for a little bit of speed. The terrain drops away from them as they go around this corner.
And there they are. You can see some of the slower traffic now coming into view there on the bottom. And they're now passing the 7th and 8th place planes, and that just is the speed difference in these top two qualifiers, Tommy. Finley's still in second, but he's making ground though. He's beginning to get him as they come around. As they come back to the home pylon this time. Well, Andrew's still trying that strategy of getting a little bit of altitude in the first couple parts of the turn, the first couple pylons as he makes his way through the turn. Now as they head north towards the guide pylon into the foothills, you can see the two of them coming right into your living room, and you can see he's begun to pull. That's lap traffic that just exited your screen there. And here come your two leaders right here.
Yeah. Just cannot break through, can Finley? Not yet. He's about to run out of time here. We're in the white flag lap. Wrap it up here. Very little time left for him to get something done. It seems like he's maybe lost a little ground since the last lap.
Yeah, I agree, Tommy. And we've got just about a half lap left as they drop into the valley of speed. Now watch here. You see the angle. We talked about being able to tell who's ahead of who. You can see there Lavelle now, his wings are level, and Finley is still leveling out. So that gives you an idea how far where they are in that last turn as they come around pylon number 6 and head south into the valley of speed. But here they are. The last few turns. This is pylon 7, 8, and 9 as they make their way towards the home pylon and the beginning to pass the Thunder Mustang there below them. And there it is, checkered flag, checkered flag.
For Andrew Lavelle. Excuse me, for Jeff Lavelle. Andrew Finley is going to be second place. That's unofficially as it stands right now. We've got Sean Van Hatten right there.
Got the rest of our field continuing to finish the race as you see them coming around the corner. Here at down low, and they're headed towards the end of the valley of speed as they begin to head south.
It's race 3, Mojo Sean Van Hatten. Can finish in third place. You can see how far the two leaders had distanced themselves from the rest of the field.
Yeah, and the qualifying speeds, they were about 40 miles an hour faster in the qualifying speed. We saw that play out here during this race. And here he is coming around the final pylons. Vicky Benzig coming by as well. Here's a great shot. Finish line right there, the beautiful blue and white checkered home pylon. Continue to have that in-cockpit shot of Andrew Finley as he is now pulled up and off of the race course and circling around to land, but we still have other racers that are finishing. But here we are back to the start, Tommy, as they dropped in to the coming down the chute. Andrew Finley was in second, and then eventually, well, not eventually, but Jeff Lavelle held the race from pole to pole, flag to flag.
He took advantage of his pole position, never relinquished it one time during the course of this race. It was just pretty much a textbook effort from the guy who's won this thing 7 times previously. Experience counts for a lot, and of course, a great set of skills and a great aircraft. It makes a big difference as well.
It does, and while this was a very competitive race, and you saw Andrew Finley working hard to find a way to overtake him, this is also still Thursday.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times our racers may have a little bit more left in the tank but they're going to save that for Sunday because sometimes when you do that last little bit, things break, right? So you don't want to break on Thursday. So
both Finley and Lavelle have broke stuff earlier on in the week. We've seen it happen, but older, wiser perhaps this time around. We'll see if they can keep up that pace throughout the rest of the week. And it's in the books now. Sport Class Heat 1A is done. Show you our unofficial leaderboard as it stands right now. The race officials have to review it all before they make it official. And Jeff Lavelle, the pole position, held it. Race 39 for the first spot. Andrew Findlay, 1 moment. Race 30 in second place. Sean Van Hatten and Mojo in third place. Tom McNerney, too much. Race 4. Matthias Hayde, the defending champion. Class Thunder 1, race 51. Finishes in 5th place. Matt Ramsey and Guardian Angel 777. In 6th and 7th, Peter Balmer 67. And Vicky Benzing, 15, Lucky Girl, comes up in 8th place. So one more sport heat down for this day, and this was the gold race, and it is complete on day number 2.